a problem here. And it's more than just Alvin streaming Punisher. When life begins to suck, who's reporting it? Luckily, you got two friends who you won't forget. Coming live, Alvin and Fran on survival. Laughing non-stop, case drops on a cycle. Louder than intrusive thoughts off an iPhone. How they make the world seem bright with the lights off? AFs, it might as well stay up. Lies being told like that dinosaur BS. Magnifying glass to the ground if they don't see us. Having the time, roasting your favorite pizza. Bougie ain't an option, it's the wage. Taking to the grave, have moving to the place. You already know when they take the case. Laugh the pain away, it's affirmative murder.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Affirmative Murder, the equal opportunity true crime comedy podcast. I'm Alvin Williams, joined as always by my partner in true crime, Fran and Alvin.
Oh yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Yeah, man, I'm the mailman. Can't you tell, man? Gonna post it.
What up?
The temperature is up, man. It is goddamn. The East Coast is being slammed with a heat wave of epic proportions. I'd like to get your thoughts as a man on the ground of what have you been doing to stay cool in the last 7 days or so here in the Maryland area.
Stay hydrated, man. That's all you can do.
You don't have any gadgets like a ice fan?
Because that stuff, it just adds weight and it's too
None
much.
of it works.
I have it doesn't work because I carry a bag also, so like a neck fan would it gets in my way. Then that makes me uncomfortable. Then I get frustrated. And that makes me even more hot. So it's like it's not it's not worth it. But also stuff like that needs to be charged or like battery operated type of things. You know, generate
another
heat.
Stressful thing.
And also generate heat as well. So it's like I don't need that extra shit. So it's like drink water, stay hydrated. Luckily I have an air conditioned vehicle, so I can go in there and cool off for 5-10 minutes or whatever, and then get back out on the street. But just gotta stay cool, man. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, man. One thing I'll say is I don't know, what faiths people believe out there in the world, but if hell is real, god damn, I feel sorry for those people who got sent there, bro. Because a 97-degree day with 80% humidity.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually. I was actually surprised.
Excuse me? Do we need to get into the debacle that was my baby shower? I mean, great time. But I didn't realize. I just looked up. I was doing some research because I was like, it's been crazy hot. It's been in the news.
Yeah.
Saturday, which was the day of my baby shower, it clocked in at 101 degrees at the hottest point of the day. Yeah, it was insanely hot.
Yeah.
And the air conditioning wasn't working in the building that we were in.
No, it was hot.
It was like it was hell.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful time. Imagine having all this magic love and all these wonderful things in hell.
Yeah.
The devil behind us, like smiling at the whole time of the whole event.
And y'all be playing games and shit. Playing games, I'm like full on sweat. Now I'm all sweaty.
Well, I would have been sweating regardless because I am a full blown competitor. But yeah, there was one game that was just fully obsolete because it was push the balloon from underneath your shirt. By dancing.
Yeah.
But we were all so sweaty that the balloon was sticking to our stomachs. So it was just we had to just cancel the game.
I was making a little bit of progress. Some people told me I was making progress, but it just wasn't.
I was making progress in the realm of boogie. I was definitely getting my boogie on, but that balloon was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was thrusting my hips like my life depended on it.
Yeah, right.
And it did because I was about to have a heat stroke. So it was quite the event, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the record heat waves, bro, stay hydrated out there, man. I had to go out and buy a window unit. I usually can make it through.
I got to buy one too.
It's too hot. It's just too hot. The air is bro, listen. It's hit your pockets hot outside.
Sure.
You start getting desperate. You're trying to buy more cold water. You got to buy bottled water. You're just trying to figure out anything that you can do to stay cool within the house. But Fran, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Well, it's two things. You've been how do I say this nicely? You've been on the Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us this wave and enjoying this whole moment. I think we all are. It's fine, whatever. It's a cultural moment. But he had a pop out concert on Juneteenth. Did you watch the concert?
Did I watch the concert? You were able to watch it? What do you mean? Like, did I see
it was
clips?
on Amazon. It was on Amazon.
No, I didn't know it was on Amazon. No, I didn't watch it.
Okay. Did you know that he performed Not Like Us 5 times?
Yeah, I saw that. What about it?
I'll just get your thoughts on it. Like,
My
do you
thoughts
feel
on
like
it?
the song is ran into the ground? Do you think it's like about to get a second win? Do you think it's going to be the song? It's the song of the summer. The momentum is not dying. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is, I said, damn, he did it 5 times, but I went, okay, so was it the fans? Did they want that? was that requested? Like, play it again. It's like, you got to do. These people play. I mean, these people pay to see you. It's like,
it was a victory lap. I mean, I don't think the fans were. I don't think that they were going 1 more time, and he did it 5 more times. I think he just was
you don't
like,
think so?
I'm gonna kill this man in front of all you people. I don't think he like didn't want to do it 5 times. I think he was like, let's bury this dude, right?
Yeah.
It was the hate concert of the century.
I wish I was there.
I'm here for it. Like, whatever, you made a record, you made a diss record a hit. Run it in the ground. Fuck them. Put the posters up on the screen. That's hip hop. I get it, but I'm just tired of the song, and I'm tired of the think pieces.
Yeah,
I'm just like, the whole thing is just. I'm just over it. Every time I get on TikTok, every 5th scroll, somebody being like, "And so when Kendrick said, this, that, and the third,"
you see that about Drake too. I'm tired of seeing it on both sides. I'm tired.
I'm tired of the whole discourse.
Yeah,
let me be clear, because I know you.
Okay.
I know you tell me pop it out of my mouth. I understand. Yeah. I'm not sitting here trying to be a Drake defender. I'm saying,
that's what you do. That's what you was doing when we was had to. This conversation. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not looking like you like anything. But like I was saying, I'm tired of the whole discourse.
What? Was that not like? Was that not perfect timing? Nah, my soundboard. It's been crazy, right?
Your soundboard the last couple of days. It's you're hilarious. But yeah, I'm just tired of the whole thing overall. That's my whole point.
Hey man,
they say that girl's life got turned upside down. Like,
I know
Fresh
it
Prince of
did.
Bel-Air.
I know it did. I mean, I don't know if you still on this Kendrick Lamar shit, because like, look, he played this on 5 times, whatever. I think it's a bit excessive. Yeah, objectively, I think everybody agree that, like, all right, man. At the third time, all right, man. Can we like wrap this up or something? Can we play another?
Can you play
song?
"Sing About Me" or
so
many other hits? Like,
Absol or something. Bring somebody else out. Like, I get it. It's the song of the summer. I think it's kind of like a somebody mentioned this is like, it's like Tupac's "California Love" is just a West Coast type of anthem, California type of anthem song. And I mean, hey, it's a hit. People love it. I think this song doesn't blow up if he doesn't use the West Coast flow. This song is a totally different song if he doesn't go with the flow that he used in the song.
Of course. That's what made it the knockout punch.
That's what made it the knockout punch. Yeah.
When he because Drake can't do that.
Right.
Nobody wants to hear him do like a Caribbean inspired Toronto man's. We out here getting blim. I don't want to hear him put his city on his back and do an anthem for his city. I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
Mans is Marved out here in Toronto. You can't come to Toronto, eh?
Yeah, nobody want to hear that.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Nobody. But I mean, it was like a great time. Everybody was there. Everybody who lives in LA, I mean, whatever, who was there dancing. I mean, like, it looked like a good time, like a huge cookout, man. It looked like a good time.
I get it.
But actually, my soundboard clip was kind of perfect segue where I wanted to go. I mean, so I had a question
Hawk
for you.
To a girl.
Yeah, Hawk to a girl. I had a question for you, and I completely forgot what it was. But anyway, social media and the fame of social media. When you get a clip that goes viral, I mean, like, there's levels to
when a clip goes viral. National treasure viral. She's top tier. There's tiers. She hit top tier viral, like real viral. Real
viral. I mean, like, crazy.
She's not a person anymore. Like she's a meme.
Like a celebrity almost.
Yeah.
At this point. I mean, like, do you think that's healthy for somebody who's to get instant?
No. Of course not.
Overnight.
Your life change. I mean, like, I don't know what the rumors are true, but like, it can affect your job. It can affect your friendships, your family. I mean, like, I wouldn't want my parents to see me doing some video where I'm like, I spit on dicks, nasty on like I don't want my parents to see that. And now everybody in your family has seen it, and your parents' friends have seen it, and it's like crazy. And God bless her, she's free to do and say whatever she wants to. But I think that she was walking from a club, and this is what I don't like about this society and this culture, this TikTok culture. She just ran into some dudes on the street that asked her some questions. She's like, "We're having fun. I had a couple of drinks." She just answered some questions. She didn't think that was going to go anywhere. If it did go on this guy's TikTok, who the fuck is this guy? He's got a fucking lapel mic in my face. Like, this is, I don't know. I'm having a good time.
Right.
And now you're the most viral thing smoking in the country.
Yeah,
maybe in the world. I mean, obviously there's like genocide happening right now, but like, as far as on the lighthearted side of things, she's probably one of the more viral things globally.
Yeah.
You know, Joe Rogan's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. Hawk to a girl. you don't. That's not. How do you adjust? You can't adjust to that. And also it's like, how do you pivot? Because if I do a really good job in a movie and the movie goes box office and it's number one movie in the country, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
What does she do now? It's like, oh yeah, you're the Haktui girl. What? I saw her signing hats. Some dude made merch, and it's like, I'll give you a split of the profits if you come and sign some hats that say Haktui 2024 on it.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be known as the girl who spits on dicks for the rest of your life? Because like I don't know how you. That's when you ask that question. I'm like, you don't adjust to that. That's awful. Like, it's funny now. I'm sure she likes the attention, but eventually it's like, well, now I want to go back to work and like I don't want to be people coming up to me and being like, can you hock to it on mine? It's going to get like, it's probably already gotten really disrespectful and disgusting in her DMs, in her face.
Yeah, I'm sure like the porn industry has gotten in contact with her for like, some type of
Oh my God.
ads.
They probably threw a bag. They're offering to throw a bag at her, like
100%.
$3 million for
100%.
OnlyFans or something like. Yeah. But like, again, she was just out with her friends.
Yeah.
I don't think she had any interest in doing anything like that. Now it's like, yeah, you're the girl who like is a nasty freak.
Yeah. Right.
It's like, I think she was just making a joke,
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's who she is now to the world.
It's just the level of when things go viral is insane. Like, you see things that make its rounds, you go, that was funny. Then like other shit was like, you can't get on social media without knowing who this person or what happened in this clip is or what happened. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah. Like tier 3 viral, like if we say it's 3 tiers, tier 3 viral, I'm all for.
Can I get to the young?
This guy right here, we've hit this a couple of times during the show. Nobody knows who that guy is.
Nobody knows who that guy is.
Unless you know who he is.
Unless you know who he is.
That's my guy. I love him. But he can go to the grocery store. He can live his life. He is not like has to be shut indoors now because his life has changed in this crazy way. I don't want to be tier 1 viral, especially for something I have no control over. If I make a funny joke or I make a TikTok that goes viral, that's different than I fell down some stairs or somebody caught me saying something or I was digging in my butt at the grocery store and you go crazy. It's like, I don't want to be known as that.
Yeah.
Your mom's calling you like, what did you say? Hawk Tui? Really? Really, Claire? Hawk Tui? And she's like, what? How did my mom see I guess that guy uploaded that video. How did she see this random? And then you go on your Instagram, you got 100,000 new followers or whatever. I don't know her process, how fast they found her, which, I mean, obviously they did find her eventually, but like how quickly do you realize, oh, fuck.
Right.
I'm like the topic of the country right now.
Yeah.
I would not want to, unless it was something of my own merit, a funny joke, or I made a really cool video, or I took a dope picture. But just me saying something randomly to some dude on the street and yeah,
that's crazy.
No, I don't know how you adjust to that, but I don't envy her, man. Like, that's really scary.
Yeah, TikTok need to go though, but we can end it on there. TikTok needs to go. TikTok needs to go. Like, it needs to go.
Completely turned on TikTok at this point?
Yeah, man, it needs to go. I'm just tired of people just like going live and being character. It's just like, this shit needs to end.
Man, I saw
this
one.
Shit needs to end.
I saw an NPC guy because they're still doing that.
Yes.
And I'll be scrolling through and they'll just recommend them to you. Or you go.
Once you start watching one, like, they got you.
Man, I saw one. The guy was like an NPC gang member. So he's out in front of like a bank or something like that, and he's like, "Oh man, a donut, man, that'll slow down the police. Oh, a donut. Oh, a donut. Oh, a donut. Oh man, that'll slow down the police. Oh man, hot. I'm like, bro, you are a grown man. You standing
grown man. Grown man
standing outside a convention center with your phone on a gimbal thing.
Oh, that's insane. It needs to go. This is insane.
Like, damn, is that a rose? Man, Suwoo. Like, you're like, what? You're like, man, this is crazy.
You're an adult, man. The TikTok needs to go.
You might be right, bro. Well, you're doing all this for $65, bro.
For $65? Throw this for some roses? I don't know how much a rose costs. It was like, some roses, man? Some galaxies? That's nuts, man. You need to grow up. So the wave of it is gone now. You're just like an idiot. I get it if y'all when it's hot. But now the wave is dipped, it's gone, man. Just
bro,
stop.
now you just look desperate. People
just look desperate.
People trolling you, sending you 100 galaxies because you look dumb. They're cool with taking $10 out of their pocket to make you look dumb.
Yeah.
Like that's like think about that, and you do it happily. Ooh, a rose, ooh, a rose, ooh, a rose, ooh, a rose, ooh, a rose. Like, bro, they did that so they could go look at this dummy. For $9, I just got him to do that. He just spammed the rose emoji because I gave him $8.
Man,
So you might be right, bro. It's really turning.
it needs to go, man.
It's making the culture and the society weird. I mean, without TikTok, there would be no Haktui girl, though. I guess. What do we need? I guess. I don't know why I said that like she cured cancer. My bad. Hey, listen.
What has she done for the society of American people? I don't care.
I don't know why I said it like that. All right, listen. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna get into some fucked up shit, man. So stick around. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Kikoff. Have you ever gone up to a vending machine and seen a Rice Krispie treat hanging by the edge of its life? And you know that if you buy the Rice Krispie treat behind that, you'll have become a vending machine master, pulling off the 2-for-1 special, the ultimate beating of the system. That is until Kikoff came into existence. When it comes time to buy a home, a car, or find a new apartment, a bad credit score can be a big roadblock. But Kikoff found a way to beat the system with a fast and easy way to build credit up safely each month. Sign up for a monthly plan in minutes and start building credit right away for as low as $5. Listen, folks, credit is complicated, but one thing I know for sure about it is that a good score is necessary in life. You can use AutoPay to build your credit while you sleep and never have to worry about missing a payment. So if your credit score could use a little TLC, which who's couldn't these days, join the over 1 million people who are building their credit with Kikoff right now. Get your first month for $1 off at getkikoff.com/AMP today. That's Kikoff at GetKikoff.com/AM as in, man, my credit's fantastic. P. This special offer applies to new Kikoff Premium customers for their first month only and is subject to approval and only available on getkikoff.com/AMP. Terms of offer are subject to change. All right, and we are back. Fran, this week we have a really interesting story that came across either TikTok or somebody emailed it to me. I can't really remember which one, but it's a pretty wild ride.
Yeah, this is this story I would say is right up my alley as far as like a true crime story, movie type of M. Night Shyamalan type of twisty, turny. These are stories I live for.
Yes, it is. It's very suspenseful. It's very mysterious. I liken it to the movie Catch Me If You Can. This story is very similar to that, and we will get into it right now. So, it was the summer of 1990, and 34-year-old Beverly McGowan was working as a bank clerk at Glendale Federal Bank in Florida. She lived in a 2-bedroom condo in Pompano Beach, and she was known to be a kind woman who mostly kept to herself. And she lived alone with her 2 cats. In order to save some money, Beverly decided to rent out her extra bedroom. She placed an ad in the Sun Sentinel newspaper in early July of 1990, saying that she had a 2-bedroom condo, she was a female who was 34 years old, along with 2 cats, and the rent would be, or what she was charging was $290 plus half of utilities, which is a goddamn good deal to me. If I could find something like that in 2024, I'd be living like a king. She carefully screened the applicants, and after passing on a few, Beverly told her family and friends that she had come across a woman who seemed like the perfect fit. Feeling confident about her potential new roommate, she invited the woman over to meet up and tour the apartment. She told people close to her that the woman was named Alice and that she was from England. Sounds like a nice roommate, a fun English roommate.
So what is your thoughts on, finding putting an ad out in the newspaper and finding a roommate?
I mean, I would never do that.
Same.
Yeah, if I don't know you, I'm not living with you. If I know you, I might not live with you. I'm a very particular person. Like, I don't even know how you audition for a roommate that you don't know. What are you asking? I would have them come in. I wouldn't be there. I'd have cameras set up. I would leave the toothpaste cap off the toothpaste. I would leave the toilet seat up. I would leave a couple dishes in the sink. I would leave a picture like crooked on the wall. And then just there's no right way or wrong way, but just see what you fix. And if you fix depending on what you fix and what you care about, I'm like, this person would care and they'd give a shit.
Okay.
But like, as far as talking to them, being like, so do you watch Game of Thrones, or like, what does that tell me as far as if I would want to? I don't want to come home at 8:00 at night and it smells like feet in my house.
Right. An ad for a random person to be. I'm good on that. Unless it's a duplex. It was like
completely separate apartments. Yeah, I'm
separate
good.
apartment. Fine, but it's
Yeah.
like y'all in the same living spaces.
Nah.
Room.
And I've seen too many stories from hell of people in those situations, and then it sounds good when you do the audition part, and now it's 2 weeks in, and they're like,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to have company here.
Yeah.
Like whoever's because somebody's the alpha in the situation.
For sure. Yeah.
We might be roommates, and I'm giving you rent money or whatever, but like I'm on the lease. I like own this place. So that person's gonna always end up flexing that. Even if they go, we split it 50-50, I would definitely never want to be the renter.
Well,
Because I think if it comes to we get on the outs, it's like, get out of my house, and you go,
right.
but we signed a lease, and like I thought we had a deal. It's like, no, this is it's like Uber.
Right.
You know how like
This is my
Uber's when you're nice and you're a nice passenger and shit, it's like, oh yeah, sir, and there's water bottles, you need a charger, what kind of music you want to listen to? But if I start going like, man, turn the air down and hurry up, you're like, get the fuck out of my car.
Yeah, this is my car.
Like, yeah, get out of my car.
Right.
You know, so all the pleasantries go out the door once we stop being nice to each other.
I get that, but it's like once we go half on shit, it's like, all right, I have some say in something, right?
Sounds good.
I'm paying money. It's not like I'm staying for free.
For sure. It sounds good. That sounds good. And that sounds logical and reasonable, and it will hold up in a court of law. But right there in that house, when somebody goes, I don't care about any of that. Even if they're throwing it in your face, you don't have to leave. But that might work on some people. When they become a bad, landlord, for lack of a better term, I don't know what the term is. You live here too. You're not the landlord. You land.
Unless it's like, I don't know, the second day or the first week of the month was like, no, I paid you on the first. I have a whole nother month. I'm not going anywhere.
Don't talk to me until
I'm not going.
I paid for the calendar days in this month, so
I'm not going anywhere.
We're co-owners for this month,
right? Unless you better give me cash right now.
Yeah, you can pay me outright. If you can talk to me like that if you pay me my money back right now,
because I'm not going anywhere. So you can shut that kid out of my face with that bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe she, this person what was her name? Beverly.
Oh, Beverly? Yeah,
Beverly. I don't know if this was like, maybe she just,
some extra money.
It's extra money.
Yeah, some extra money.
Or just a friend. I don't know. It's just, I'm like, nah, man.
No, let's not get the concept of like, I'm paying $800 a month. If I can subsidize this and basically live here for free or some capacity, she's not living here for free with the $290, but it probably helps a lot. So that sounds like a good deal. And she was 34. She had 2 cats. She probably is like, maybe I can make a friend. Like it might be a roommate, but it's quiet here, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I can't put myself in that frame of mind because I love being by myself.
Right. Ask another friend. Ask a friend that you have. See if they have any friends that want to be.
She might not have any friends though.
That's true.
But we friends though.
That's rough. That's a rough one.
She's scoping out a roommate named Alice, a woman from England, and she's telling her family and friends like, I think this might end up being a great roommate potentially. I think I found a good one. She was very impressed by Alice's sophisticated manner and her fancy clothes. So she seemed like a real classy lady, and a charming one too. Alice said she worked for IBM and had just been transferred to the Fort Lauderdale office. Alice also mentioned her belief in numerology, which is the belief that numbers can be used to predict one's future. Alice was undeniably charismatic and made Beverly feel safe enough to confide in her, as she later told her friends that she divulged her passport and driver's license number to Alice in order for her to predict her future. That is strike one.
Yes.
Red flag number one.
Red flag number one.
It's like, I'm really into numerology. If I could just get your social security number, it would allow me to configure a code that would help me find out who you're supposed to marry.
Oh, thank you.
And then she pulls up one of those paper things and she's like, okay, 235750934.
You talking about those things you put on your finger?
Yeah. That's basically to me. Yeah, that's basically what she's doing to me.
Yeah.
And she's like, now if I just get what's your routing number for your bank?
Yeah.
Okay. 00134273147. you're gonna have 2 dogs, a husband who is 6'4", and you're gonna drive a Tesla truck.
Yeah.
And she's like,
but
wow.
this what kind of pisses me off about like her doing that, and what is it, psychics and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, bad shit happens though, right? Everything, when people go like, oh, I'm gonna tell you your future, it's always,
you're gonna die in 6 months.
It's always positive. It's always, you're gonna come across some money, you're gonna get a car, a house, you're gonna meet a husband, this, that, and the third. It's like, bad shit happens too. If you tell me, if I go, tell me what my future going like, and you tell me all good shit, I go, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's,
so you're gonna lose a foot to some kind of foreign disease.
Something's gonna happen. Mix it, sprinkle a little bad in there.
Yeah,
it's always some bad. Everybody got bad.
Life
luck.
is yin and yang, sunshine and rain.
You're gonna get $1 million, but you're gonna get hit by a bus and you may not be walking again. Like, you know what? That sounds
more reasonable. It's all rainbows and butterflies.
That's what I'm saying. I I would have got her like, all this. I'm gonna meet my husband, and I'm gonna come across some money.
Peep this
bullshit.
Peep this, right? So after crunching the numbers and doing the calculations, Alice told Beverly that she would come into some money, have no worries, which is very broad. Like, she would have no worries. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata,
yeah. So, and she would meet a man that she was going to marry when she was 40. She's 34 right now. So she's like, the man's going to come along in about 6 years. You're going to be Hakuna Matata-ing for about 6 years, and then you're going to meet the man of your dreams.
All his money, no worries, and then
you're going to meet the man of your dreams.
The man of your dreams.
Beverly was thrilled with her meeting Alice. Like, of course, she's like, you just told me I'm going to make money and live Hakuna Matata and meet a wonderful man, and you seem your gowns, beautiful gowns, and yeah, this is going to be a great partnership. We're going to be great roomies. So she excitedly told her friends and family that Alice would be moving in soon. So Alice was set to move in on July 17th. On July 18th, Beverly's friends called her, eager to hear about the new roommate situation. But Beverly wasn't answering her phone for her family or her friends. She also wasn't answering.
Friends,
say it again.
So Beverly does have friends.
She does have friends. I guess all of them had their roommates situations all locked up and everything. So although her family and friends were concerned that she wasn't getting in touch with them, they assumed that she was just busy and would reach out to them as soon as she could. However, concern quickly turned to alarm on July 19th when Beverly's friends and family received a cryptic letter in the mail from her that was postmarked from Miami. The letter stated that she was quitting her job, selling her condo, and planning on traveling the world. So out of the blue, they just talked to her like 5 days before, and she's like, "I'm locking in a roommate. My job's going great. Nothing about traveling or selling this place. She just got a roommate. This is crazy. This is she's having a bipolar episode. If best case scenario, she's going through some kind of mental episode. This is so random and scary that it's like she just talked about getting a roommate.
Cause for concern.
Yes, definitely cause for concern. So everyone who knew Beverly immediately became suspicious of the letters. It was completely out of character. Extremely concerned, McGowan's brother and sister traveled to her condo to check up on things. They found her phone disconnected, her car missing, along with her cats, address book, birth certificate, and passport. Now, in some ways, it did in fact look like Beverly had left for a trip or maybe to start a new life, but her family just didn't feel right about the situation. Her bed was undone, and none of her clothing or personal belongings were missing. So like, what did you take with you?
Right.
As if that wasn't disturbing enough, they found a telegraph that had been sent to Beverly's mortgage company, giving them the authorization to foreclose on her condo and take possession of all of her belongings. Unbeknownst to them, at around the same time, a fisherman was making a gruesome discovery that would change their lives forever.
A telegraph? What is it, like Morse code or something?
I think it's like a fax.
Oh.
I think a telegraph is like a fax.
Our fax was like, I don't want this no more.
I'm not gonna. Based on what it says, it's like, I'm not gonna be paying this anymore. So if you want to foreclose on me and come take all my stuff whenever that comes, whenever it's the 6th time I don't pay or whatever, you can come get whatever you need to get and don't worry about it. I'm not gonna fight you on it. Which is also that's a very weird thing to send to the bank. But you don't let the bank know you're not going to pay them. And you can come get it.
I won't be,
I won't be paying, and you can. I'm just abandoning this house, so you come get it, whatever you want.
Get it whenever. Yeah.
At your leisure. So this fisherman was making his way down the canal in the Florida Everglades. In the distance, he noticed what seemed to be a bag of rags dumped into an embankment. As he approached, the bag revealed itself to be not rags, but a female body. He immediately sought help. Although the body was fully clothed, it was severely mutilated. It was missing the head and the hands, both of which had been crudely hacked off. The shirt was pulled up above the waist, revealing a small section of the skin that had been cut off.
Wow.
The woman's throat had been slit. And due to extreme mutilation, it would have been challenging to identify the woman had it not been for a tiny tattoo of a flower just under the hem of the jeans. Now, what's interesting is that part of the skin that was cut off, I would assume, was a tattoo that might have been more visible to whoever did this, which we'll get to eventually.
Very strategic.
And they didn't take their pants off. They didn't take her pants off to see that she had another tattoo.
Yep.
So that's a slip up right there.
Always mess up somewhere.
There's no such thing as the perfect crime.
Yep.
Despite the killer's attempts to prevent identification, they had missed the hidden tattoo. Using that tattoo, they were able to connect the body to a woman who had just been declared missing. That woman was Beverly McGowan. On the same day Beverly's body was discovered, $795 of the $800 in her account was withdrawn. An attractive blonde woman with a British accent used Beverly's credit cards to buy books and designer clothing at the Aventura Mall. After speaking with devastated friends and family, authorities quickly focused their efforts on identifying and finding Alice, in quotes. Because she had bragged and raved about this new roommate situation potentially with this woman Alice to her friends and family. So that's all they had to go off of. Yeah. Detectives uncovered that a ticket had been purchased for a flight from Miami to London on July 23rd, but they hit a roadblock when they found that no one on the flight was named Alice.
Probably just walk past. They probably search that plane, walk right past that lady.
1991, bro. I mean, this is pre 9/11. I'm sure. I don't even know what getting on a plane was like in 1991. You probably didn't have to show your license. If you had a ticket, you could fly. It's probably like getting on a ride at a circus.
Just go.
Yeah, so if you got a ticket, you can get on this plane.
Yeah.
So after accounting for all the passengers on the plane, they focused their efforts on one name, Sylvia Ann Hodgkinson. That road ended up being a dead end. They couldn't locate Sylvia until they got a break in October, when Hodgkinson flew from London to Los Angeles. Once in Los Angeles, she rented a car under the name Charlotte Cohen. The woman appeared to be one step ahead of authorities at every turn, and they lost track of her again. It wasn't until May of 1991 when that same rental car was pulled over for driving with a stolen plate. So she switched the plates out from the rental dealership.
I mean, she's on her shit, man.
For sure. The rental car was also behind on payments. So once they figured out where the car was actually from, they were like, oh, well, we would have got you eventually this car had an APB out on it basically because you were driving around in a stolen rental car basically. The woman in the car identified herself as Elaine Parent. The police became suspicious when they discovered that she was carrying identification for both Cohen and Hodgkinson, the two women who they've been looking for. The woman who flew from Florida to London was Hodgkinson, and the woman who flew from London to LA was Cohen. She has both of those identifications on her. So you would think they had her dead to rights.
But also you would think that her victims have some similarities as far as looks.
Well, no, because I mean, she had all kind of wigs, and it's a whole. I don't think so. I think that's what makes this even crazier.
80s. Okay, so this is in the 80s as well, but
it's the early 90s, but yeah.
Okay, late 80s, early 90s, but I'm just saying, as far as like you use identification, were people not like paying attention to that, looking to confirm that you are this person, but.
I'm sure they were all white, just in case we didn't make it clear. This woman that we're describing is a white woman. So I'm sure she went for like white women who were the same weight range as her, similar skin complexion, things that
Yeah.
she could change her hair and easily pass for.
Right.
Because the thing
she don't
about
have to
when
do
you're
a bunch of work, then that's what
exactly, and the thing about being charismatic and knowing how to talk to people is, if you know how to do that, especially at a time before real IDs and all these kind of, face scanning and everything, you hand somebody a license and you're like, man, it's hot outside, huh? Yeah, boop. You get to talking to them and they're just like, yeah, white, yeah, cool, here you go. Yeah, have a nice flight. Like, if you know how to disarm people with charm and talking to them, they're not really looking hard at your license. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem. Here's my license. Oh my God, was I speeding? I was doing my makeup. And she might be they said she's attractive. These are all things that lend to being able to be a con artist. Being charming and attractive. It's like, yeah, if you know how to use those things, you can get out of a lot of situations. Now, back to the situation in the car. She's been pulled over in the rental car with stolen plates on it. It's behind on payments. She has 2 driver's licenses or 2 identifications from 2 separate people who are persons of interest in a murder. Yeah. It must be a wrap for her. Except you'd be very much wrong, because they were unaware that she was a wanted woman, so they let her go. And I'm not here to shit on them, but it's like, did you ask her about the other identifications that she had, or that wasn't suspicious? That didn't seem suspicious to you guys?
She just talked her way out of it.
Exactamundo. So once the investigation caught wind of this new information, they began to do more research into these different identities. Little is known about Sylvia Ann Hodgkinson, except that she was born in Lewisham in South London and was the daughter of a lorry driver. A lorry is like a taxi. She married a dairy worker who died in 1985. Most disturbing of all, she's been missing since 1986. Authorities could not confirm if she is dead or not, but the former seems to be the most likely outcome. Charlotte Cohen was a resident of the west coast of Florida. Authorities were relieved to discover her alive, but disturbed to hear her story. Cohen spoke with the Sun Sentinel. She said that she had met a woman who introduced herself as Elaine Parent sometime in 1986. So keep in mind, Sylvia Hodgkinson disappeared in 1986.
Yeah.
Charlotte Cohen meets this woman named Elaine Parent in 1986.
Yeah. So
at a bar.
She was
jumping around, I think.
Jumping around, or she was in one, playing as one person, one is identity. She met this other person, was like, you know what?
I like
but
this
that's
better.
when I go like, she must have saw her and was like,
she matches, she works.
She works.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So they happened to bump into each other at this bar Faces. She struck up a conversation with this woman, Charlotte. She just happened to. I think you're right. I think she was like, 5'6", blonde, whatever. Okay. Excuse me, what are you drinking? And then boom. That quick, she's in.
Also, her being good looking, it doesn't matter, male or female. It doesn't.
Everybody likes talking to a pretty person.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Everybody likes talking to either you want to be their friend or you want to sleep with them. Like
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to talk to a pretty person.
Yep.
So Cohen said that she was impressed with Parent's designer clothes, British accent, and charismatic personality. She even had straight, short red hair, very similar to Cohen's. See? Boom. So there you go. So she, for all we know, she might have been scoping this woman, Charlotte Cohen, out for a couple days.
But
then all of a sudden she pops back up,
from?
Similar red hair.
You don't know where she's from though.
Who? Elaine?
Alice.
It's one and the same. She's from England, apparently. She's British. So she has a British accent. No matter what, she always has a British accent. So I'm assuming she's from the UK.
Thought that may be a disguise too, but
hey, listen. This does not have an ending that closes any chapters at all, so she might not even be British.
She might not be from UK.
Which we will get to. She might be that good. Like this woman might be from Baton Rouge. So, after chatting for a while, Parent asked Cohen for some of her personal information. This is at the bar. She asked for some of her personal information at the bar, like her birthday, her driver's license, and her time of birth. Parent said she was into numerology and wanted to make a profile for Cohen. She wrote all this information on a napkin, and she predicted a bright future for Cohen.
Why is that her go-to though?
Oh no, it's brilliant. What
curious
do you
about
mean?
that.
That's brilliant. Numerology, and it's like you just get to. I have all these random things I ask you for, and one of them always is like your driver's license number, your birthday, things that you can steal somebody's identity with. But you
Okay,
do
yeah,
it all
makes
under the
sense.
guise of like, oh, I'm just this pretty British girl, and I like numerology. You know, pretty girls always have some dumb like astrology, like they, oh, I'm into numerology. I can predict what you. Oh, boopity boo. All I need to know is your driver's license number, your social security number, your birthday, and what's your passport number. And now she's got your whole identity. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
These are the same kind of girls that are like, I'm in a multi-level marketing scheme, but they make it sound cool and fun, and then they get women to join their thing and sell stuff for them. Like, it's all the same type of person.
Yeah. I just
She
figured
just
that,
happens to be way more dangerous than somebody that like sells
Right.
fit tea.
Right. I don't know. I figured that she would have a different way of going about getting this information. But I guess you just don't.
It works
if it
every
ain't-
time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, man. She's like,
don't fix
this script works 100% of the time. It works every
the
time.
hit rate is 100%. So
Oh man, I never
miss.
miss. I come along, I do the old numerology bit. They give me their driver's license number immediately, and I go steal their identity. It's a snippety snappity boop. So Cohen went on to say that she said that she'd been involved with a woman who had hurt her really bad, but otherwise would not divulge not much about herself at all. Charlotte Cohen was so impressed with Parent that she invited her to have lunch with her and her mother in a couple of days from the bar.
Man.
She said, even my mom thought she was a sophisticated person, and my mom is no fool.
She must have been the cat's meow, man.
Listen.
Like,
yeah.
After an hour of 2 hours of talking, it's like, nah, I want all of this.
Yeah. I can't get enough. Would you like to get lunch with me and my mother?
My mom. Yeah, like that's insane.
Let me get my mother in on this.
This is easy. I mean, but this is easy for her though. This is a walk in the park for her.
And she's not going to that lunch. She's like, I have your driver's license in 5 minutes, you dumbass. I'm gonna go steal your identity, run up some credit cards in your name. Yeah, we should go get lunch. I know a great place. I'll meet you guys there. So after that, Cohen didn't hear from Elaine for some time until she received a phone call out of the blue from Parent, which is Elaine Parent.
Yeah.
She told Charlotte that her aunt had died and left her an inheritance that she was expected to split with her brother. But she said that her brother had committed her to a hospital to keep her away from the money. Roughly a month later, Elaine Parent showed up to Cohen's house at around 3 a.m. She was wearing a paste-on mustache, and she claimed that she had used this disguise to escape from the hospital that she had been trapped at by her brother in order to avoid him splitting an inheritance with her. This is the most Lifetime movie shit I've ever heard. Somebody's at your doorstep at 3 a.m. Do you know how charming you have to be for me to not just slam the door in your face? So instead of slamming the door in her face, however, Charlotte says that Elaine was so hysterical and begging for her birth certificate, and she was claiming that this was the only way that she would be able to get away from her brother is by using her birth certificate to like get on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
Cohen says that she was suspicious, but Parent was inconsolable. So she relented and gave her the document. A few weeks later, Parent mailed Cohen back the birth certificate, which is nice, I guess. And Charlotte never heard from her again. And I'm like, what can you do with a birth certificate? I guess if you're the person who knows what to do as a scammer, like that's probably like the holy grail. Probably social security number and birth certificate are like, oh, I'm going to steal the shit out of your identity.
Yeah. I mean, the social security is really all you need. That's probably like the most coveted thing is the social security.
But I bet asking for somebody's social security number is like too obvious.
Right.
So I feel like for her, it's like if I have a driver's license and a birth certificate, that's equivalent and easier to ask for than a social security number.
Yeah.
Because I make my jokes,
like
but if you're playing a numerology game and you go, what's your social security number? I'm like, I'm not giving you that.
Yeah. Could be last four.
Yeah.
Maybe they can figure out. Maybe she got connects, but she can figure. I just need the last four, and I can figure the other ones out.
Yeah, I can get you your whole future for just the last 4 digits of your social security number. That's all I need. So using this new information, because now they can connect the dots between Beverly and her story of Alice and Charlotte and her story of Elaine. They're the same person, Elaine and Alice. British, charming,
numerology. They go, oh, so this is one of her identities. So the detectives use this new information, and they suspect that Elaine Parent may be the real identity of who they were looking for, because all this time they were looking for Alice, quote unquote. But now they have a full name of somebody else. So they took this new information and they turned their attention to analyzing the evidence found in Beverly McGowan's apartment. However, they had their work cut out for them because there was little found. In fact, they were not able to find a single fingerprint, hairs, or fibers in the apartment that could have placed Parent there.
She went there that long.
Yeah, bro, she's brilliant. They continued to explore every avenue, including performing tests on a blank notepad, which was found at the scene of the apartment, and had on the sheets, even though they were blank, they had been written on. So you know how the grooves were on the blank pages.
Yeah.
So they were analyzing it, trying to see if they could pull the words from the page, even though there was no ink to the page, just the grooves of the pen. Which is, I see that type of stuff all the time, as far as like a paper that you just see, oh, somebody wrote on this. I didn't know there was a whole department that's like, oh, I can try to figure out what that says.
Yeah. Probably those same people who figure out like signatures and shit like that.
For sure.
If this person. Also, I would love to know, and we won't know this information obviously, but I would love to know what made her kill Beverly and not kill Charlotte. Charlotte, right? Is her name?
Yeah.
I want to know what happened. Something must have happened.
Yeah. I guess all she needed from Charlotte was something to get to another identity, whereas with Beverly, she stole money from her. She used her passport to get on flights. Like she did a lot.
But she was dead though. I think that's different when the person is. She killed the person. Now it's like, oh, I had this person credit card. I can do whatever I want at this point.
Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind. So Charlotte was alive, right? But Sylvia Hodgkinson disappeared, never to be found. So that could be another identity that she did the same thing with Beverly, where it's like, I killed you so I could use you up fully.
Yeah,
use your social security.
Yeah, we don't know how many victims she had, but
that part too.
Right, but it's like, what was it about Charlotte where she's like, maybe she gave up her information willingly, and she was like, I don't need to take that. I don't need to go.
I don't need to go so far.
I need to go so far with it.
I got everything I need from you at this bar.
And they gave it back to her. She was kind of like loyal to her in a way.
Yeah, that part's weirdly nice too.
Didn't the show?
Yeah, the showing up with the mustache and that whole thing is like
with the what?
The mustache.
Mustache?
Yes.
I never read. I say mustache.
Mustache.
You said mustache. Mustache.
I've been doing a lot of British tonight.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of British accents. Mustache came out.
Tapped into it?
Yeah. I'm locked in now. So like I said, they've been analyzing this notebook with the pads on it. I don't really know what came of that. I don't know if they found anything. However, all of the letters appeared to be written by Parent to another British woman. Which is also like, is this the British woman who she's pretending to be? Or is she also like, now it gets interesting because now another British woman is in the mix and we go, was Elaine Parent British? Like, or did she meet a British woman who she's mocking? They only named this woman as Witness X because police refused to reveal her identity in the news reports because she was so concerned for her safety because of the ordeal that I'm about to describe to you that she went through with Elaine, / Alice. So Witness X described Elaine Antoinette Parent as being extremely intelligent, loved animals despite being allergic, and had a passion for environmental issues. Witness X met Parent around 1985. They began a romantic relationship that lasted for several years. They eventually broke up due to Parent's odd behavior and extreme emotional outbursts. The breakup was nasty, with Elaine threatening her life and even kidnapping her ex-girlfriend's dogs, and she took them overseas and demanded a ransom for them. Unfortunately, Witness X had no idea where Elaine Parent was anymore, and authorities couldn't track her. There was even sightings as far as South Africa and Australia.
Wow.
Catch me if you fucking can, bro. Authorities were worried that she may have been responsible for yet to be discovered murders. The brutality of Beverly McGowan's murder and the way in which the body was cut up led investigators to think that a person capable of committing something as heinous as that couldn't have been a novice, or that couldn't have been their first time committing a crime like that.
Right.
It just was too skilled and intentional, and the cutting of the skin, all of it seemed like somebody who was very well versed in doing what they had done.
With Beverly, right?
Yes.
Right. More than a novice. She's an expert.
Yes. So Elaine Parent was so arrogant that she even taunted the authorities. She sent the lead detective in Florida a very odd gift: an oil painting of herself with "Best wishes, your chameleon" written on the back of the painting.
Wow. Okay.
Which is some flair, some Zodiac shit. Real.
Yeah.
Put some sauce on it. She's feeling herself.
You're a chameleon.
You're chameleon.
Right.
You're a chameleon. So Elaine Parent was wanted in connection to Beverly McGowan's murder for over 12 years.
It's a long time. Damn.
Catch me if you can. She was out here. During that time, authorities knew virtually nothing about her movements. They would later learn that she traveled internationally frequently, slipping in and out of identities. She had even filed a civil negligence suit under another identity after being injured at work. And the suit was settled for an undisclosed amount of money. She won a lawsuit while pretending to be another person. She is the master of disguise.
Probably wasn't that much because she out here doing crazy shit. This shit.
That's wild, bro. But that's still crazy to get away with that. Like, you go into a court of law as a fake person and you get away with suing somebody for money.
But imagine the balls you have to do something like that. To be like,
I'm committing a crime and I'm suing somebody for wrongdoing.
And if I get caught, this could be terrible. But it's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, she was clearly arrogant, cocky, delusions of grandeur, but not really delusions because you're succeeding. So they're not delusions. You're really that chick. Like, you're succeeding in life. Like, this is girl boss to its finest. Now, in desperation, authorities had America's Most Wanted air a segment on Elaine Parent on April 6, 2002. Almost immediately after the broadcast, producers received a tip. Someone had spotted Parent at an apartment in Panama City, Florida. So she always ends up in Florida. She can't stay away from Florida.
Yeah.
Police rushed to the given address, but were disappointed to see the woman answering the door looked nothing like the woman that they were looking for. They figured it was a false lead, but wanted to rule it out anyways, so they asked her to come down to the station. She obliged, but asked to change her clothes first. While changing, an officer scrutinized the military ID that she had provided. She had a military ID, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Something was just off about the license, I guess. So, the officer was going to follow up more, like, this seems expired or whatever. Just as he knocked on the door, about to ask about the license or the military ID, a gunshot rang out. Police rushed in to find the woman collapsed. A fatal gunshot to the chest from a .357 Magnum.
Damn.
The woman was identified as Elaine Parent.
Mm.
And there's something so fucking dramatic about shooting yourself in the chest.
In the chest.
Like, I don't want to ruin my pretty face. She's a bad bitch, bro. Like, it's just something like, it was something Thelma and Louise about shooting yourself in the chest. It's so drive off the cliff in the drop top Chevy, whatever. Like, shooting yourself in the chest, like, oh, let me do my makeup one last time and change my clothes and put on my finest, nice clothes, and then shoot myself in the chest. It's something like poetic and real.
Is it?
It's giving baddie. It's giving baddie. It really is to me. Like, something like, because I'm sure that's like she's never killed herself, shot herself before. I would imagine you would think shooting yourself in the head is like done. Yeah. Shooting yourself in the chest, what if it's like, you go, what if I don't die immediately? That's like the more...
It's gotta be some pain.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, but since she's chose to go like, I'm not going to ruin this pretty face. That's what it's giving. All these years of running around and me reading this story, I get that vibe from her. Like, I'm not ruining this pretty face. This pretty face got me this far. I'm not going to betray it now.
Yeah.
So, obviously, Fran, like many stories we've done, these are the ones that make you the most mad. She took everything that she knew to the grave and
Yep.
refused to answer for her crimes.
Man.
Police found her in possession of various disguises for both men and women, a book on stage makeup, a book entitled Learn to Speak French, and a notebook containing a man's social security number, relatives' names, date of birth, and credit card. Most interesting of all was a fake wanted poster found that appeared to feature her. The name listed on the poster was Antoinette Reese Ormond. It listed her as a wanted woman in connection to the death of a highly placed government official found murdered in Washington, D.C. inside a hotel room. It's been theorized that she was possibly using this poster to intimidate someone. Like, yeah, you know what I've done? You see, I'm capable of a lot of stuff. I killed dignitaries. Her laptop, computer, and diary were never located. Police were hoping to receive more information about the elusive woman as her once petrified victims came forward. Many of her living victims expressed great relief when learning of her death. It has been said that at least 7 people whose identities she was known to have are still missing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
These are not concrete numbers, but it's just like these are some of the beliefs that,
information she has.
She took it with her. Nothing will ever be able to be confirmed,
man.
where the body's buried, where, so
Nothing.
many mysteries people will never get closure for. Despite going by the name Elaine Antoinette Parent, her birth certificate was never found. There was a woman named Elaine Antoinette Parent that grew up in the Bronx, but there is no solid link to prove that that was her real identity.
I'm telling you, man, I don't think she's from.
You don't think she's British? You don't think she's
British at all?
You think the English accent was a fraud?
Yeah, man, she's too skilled for. I wouldn't put that by her to be like, she doesn't know how to speak another language or have an accent. No, man,
There's just there just happens to be, in the course of us reading this story, there was some intersecting where she used a British accent a couple of times. But she could have used a British accent before, a Jamaican accent, a French accent. We just happen to be talking about the 2 instances that got her caught up. She happened to be British in 2 of these stories.
Right.
But she could have been all kind of stuff multiple times.
But the British accent worked for her. It worked. So it's like, this the one. This
One
is
of
my
her go-tos.
This is my go-to.
Mhm.
If I have to go, use a Bronx type of lingo, no, she can pull it off. She can. That's definitely in her tool belt for sure.
Yeah. Elaine Parent, we will go with, is quite.
That ain't her name. That's probably
not even her name. It's really wild. But rest in peace to all of her identified victims. You know what I'm saying? Like, rest in peace to Beverly McGowan and Sylvia Hodgkinson. Those are 2 Beverly McGowan, definitely a victim of hers. Yeah. Sylvia Hodgkinson was never found, and Charlotte she wasn't killed. But it's believed to be more victims out there. So rest in peace to anybody who crossed this woman's path. But objectively, I just have to say, this is an impressive criminal. It really is like, wow, I can't believe they got away with doing these things for so long. And they got so confident in their ability that they started taunting the investigators. So it's pretty wild stuff.
Sending paintings in and
yeah, wild stuff, man.
Definitely a little too confident, but I want to know what she did when she wasn't doing this. Like, what did she like to? Was neurology was really her thing, or that was just like?
I feel like that was just part of the game.
Right,
the game.
Right. But it's like, what else?
What kind of hobbies did she have?
What kind of hobbies did she? What
Forgery.
Kind of life other than that?
Forgery.
But I think when you get so deep into being other people, that's probably what she did all the time. Wherever, even if she wasn't trying to scam people out of information, she was probably constantly changing outfits and changing her voice.
Oh, she liked fashion. She was a fashionista. So yeah.
Well, man, maybe one of her identities was being a fashionista.
Yeah.
Maybe one of her victims was like high profile fashion
Possibly.
somebody in the fashion industry. She was like, I'll take this.
Yeah, she could have been rubbing elbows with Christian Audigier for all I know. You know, she was able to do a lot of shit, man. But they sicked John Walsh on her from America's Most Wanted, and that was the rap. Shout out to John Walsh, man. Little guy.
Shout out to John Walsh,
but you
man.
know, he knows how to shake up a room. But yeah, before we get out of here, Fran, any recommendations do you have any recommendations?
I watched Clipped.
Did you watch? How many episodes did you watch?
I finished the whole.
Oh wow!
I finished what was, I think a new one came out yesterday.
Right.
I think Tuesday.
Mhm.
So I gotta watch that. But I'm caught up on that.
What do you? If you had to give it a grade?
A grade. Just overall.
Yeah.
Like overall. Get like a 7.
Okay. So a C.
Yeah, like a C.
It was fine. It was a fine show.
It was a fine.
That's what I
show.
got from the 2 that I watched. I was like, this is fine.
It was a fine.
I wasn't
show.
pressed to
liked
go
it.
back, but it was fine.
Yeah, I can say that Doc Rivers, the coach. Now I
Larry
know this is
Fishburne.
all based on I know it's all based on true story. Now, if he was like that, how he's portrayed in the show, if that's how he really was in real life, I fuck with Doc. Because Doc ain't take no shit.
JJ Redick said Doc Rivers never came into a practice and insulted all of them and called them all. He said that never happened. You know how JJ Redick talks. He was like, that never. I don't know who their source was on that.
I'm talking about as far as excuse me,
sticking up for the
I'm
team.
talking about sticking up for his players.
From what I could, because I've seen like the 30 for 30 and a lot of the stuff. Apparently, Doc stood on business when it came to that. Like, apparently, it was his idea to like not wear the jerseys or whatever they did. I can't remember exactly what they did, but they had a playoff game after all this story came out, and they'd like turn their jerseys inside out or something like that.
Yeah,
and he was
That's
like,
what I
"You
mean.
guys play
That's
for
what I was
each other. We play for us."
Let's go. Like, I fuck with Doc if he was like,
Yeah,
he was like, didn't obviously Sterling was his boss, but he also ain't take no shit
right
from that guy.
Listen, bro, Doc Rivers gets a bad rep because he can't finish the job, but seems like a good dude. I don't know any players that are like, I don't like playing for Doc Rivers, so he seems like a good guy.
Yeah,
And that's a hell of a thing to go through. Is like you're just trying to be a coach and like fucking play basketball.
Right. It was gross. It was super gross. Oh, but I can say the wife was just. I've seen the Ramona Shelburne, the documentary that came out before this. That came out a while ago.
Right. Shout out to
In
Ramona
the show,
Shelburne, by the way. She's a really good.
The wife she pissed me off. She pissed me off. I couldn't stand.
Well, she was turning a blind eye.
She was turning a blind eye. I get that shit, but that was like she was just delusional and kind of didn't want to accept the fact that her husband is a racist.
Yeah,
a racist.
Well, you want to stay in the mansion and keep your allowance.
Of course, I wouldn't expect that from you. But it was like, jeez, like you have all the shit in front of you. You're like, oh no, he's not being himself. He's brainwashing. I said, get the fuck out of here, man.
This is a dirty old man who likes this half Filipino, half black woman or whatever she is. And he's a nasty freak. Like, what are you doing? Like, she's twisted him all up. He's not like this. Like, no, he is. He likes to, he comes. He's
clearly,
like,
he like fucking around with the chicken.
Come
like,
on, bro. You know what's up.
Whatever. But anyway, I give it a 7. I don't have anything else. I do have some things in my queue that I can't wait to watch.
Now, there's a documentary that I need you to watch. I'm going to spoil it right now because I'm going to tell people some stuff about it, but you need to watch it and we can talk about it more. There's a documentary on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Tell Them You Love Me. So the documentary is about a guy who has cerebral palsy, and he gets introduced to this woman who's like, I do assisted speech therapy or lessons. Like, she basically teaches you how to use one of those machines that talks for you.
Okay.
But he has cerebral palsy, so she would hold his fingers and help him press the buttons.
Right.
And basically they end up having this love affair that, and they fall in love, and she's married, but they sleep together. But this guy lives at home with his mom. He can't talk. He needs assistance living his life. But this woman's like, but we fell in love. He's this brilliant man, and he just can't talk, but he's like brilliant. He loves to read books, and he's a philosophy. He's all these philosophies, and he just is not able to.
He's nonverbal.
He can't. He's like trapped in his own body. He can't say the things that he wants to say. But through this machine, he revealed to me who he truly is on the inside, and I fell in love with him, and we're in love. And the shit spirals into like, is this even a real type of therapy? Is she making this shit up? Is she just pressing these buttons and making this shit up? Is she a predator? It gets crazy, bro. The documentary is nuts. I highly recommend you watch it, and then you come back and we can talk about it further. But I can't give more thoughts because people did message me and ask me what I thought about it. I don't want to go any further because I don't want to ruin it more for Fran, but that I know Fran likes to know what the general outline is.
Yes.
And that's the general outline. It's like,
Okay.
it's a documentary about a guy, he has cerebral palsy. And then the question is, when you watch it, you go, do I believe that people can be trapped in their body and be not mentally stunted? And if this is that situation, if it's not, if there's other situations in the world where they're like, I can't move and I can't talk, but I have a brilliant mind and I just can't, like Stephen Hawking. You know, Stephen Hawking used one of those machines to talk for him, but he's like a astrophysicist.
Yeah.
He just can't use his body. He was in a horrible accident. So for me, when I watched it, it posited this question of like, well, what would it be like to be trapped in your body, but you have all these thoughts and you see the world in this way and you can't get your message across to people? That would be pretty awful. So that part was interesting, but outside of that, the documentary is crazy and creepy and disturbing and like wild. Tell them you love me.
Okay.
I also started watching the first episode of season 2 of House of Dragons, or House of the Dragon. I have not finished it yet. It's the Game of Thrones spinoff.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
That came out like 2 years ago, right?
The first season did. Now the second season just started.
Oh,
First season was fine, but
Didn't I watch that? I thought I watched that. The first season or something?
of the House of the Dragon,
I think so.
I would be
Because you said you can watch it. No, what did I watch? That was like, you can watch this, but you don't have to watch the main.
Ooh, that could be a lot of shows, man.
I think
don't
it was
know.
it.
That
I
could be
think I
like
did start
American
watching
Horror
that.
Story. It could be
I think I
House of
saw
the
like-
Dragon. You don't need to watch.
I think I saw like 2 episodes. So.
You don't need to watch Game of Thrones to watch House of the Dragon. There's Easter eggs and stuff that.
I think I did watch it when it first came out. I watched like the first 2 episodes or something. But it was, and you got upset with me because you was like, I don't like how people can watch this.
Yeah,
and
no,
didn't watch that.
I
and-
know why I got upset
I
with
do
you.
remember
You definitely must have, because I could see myself. The way that you disrespected me for the season 8 finale of Game of Thrones, and good.
How
I'm
I
glad
did-
it
I
was
didn't do-
terrible. And
Oh
you,
yeah.
all this shit
I
that you
stand by
said,
that
and then you're
still.
like, you watched anything having to do with the Game of Thrones universe? Yeah, no, I was probably
I
pretty
want to
hot.
see what the hype was about.
But that's not the show. Now you get me
Sure.
hot again. That's not Game of Thrones. So you
Okay.
can't watch that and be like, I thought it was
Is
okay.
dragons in it? Dragons
In what?
in
In
House
Game of Thrones?
what is it? No, the other show.
It would be pretty fucking pathetic if it was called House of the Dragon and there was no dragons in it, huh?
So what's dragons in
There's
it?
dragons in it out of the gate.
So it's dragons in.
Might be some say it's
Uh,
too much dragons in the House of the Dragon. Because
Okay.
in Game of
But
Thrones,
they're all
it was
they're
a
all-
build up.
But there are dragons in. What's the nickname for it? GOT? What is it?
GOT, yes.
GOT. Yeah, that's
Eventually, but they don't see in House of the Dragon. I feel like they might inundate you with dragons a little bit. I still like it, but it's a lot of dragons.
I started watching the show.
But Game
I
of
didn't really
Thrones
watch
is like they build up to the dragon stuff.
Yeah, because some black people in the show, right?
Yeah, it's black people in this season.
Okay, I do.
One of the richest guy in the show is like the black dude.
Is a black
with
one.
white dreads.
Okay, I do. Okay,
Yeah.
It's coming back. It's coming back now. I do
yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I do remember this. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember this.
So
I don't know why I stopped watching it, but maybe it wasn't that well.
it might not
Wasn't
have
that
grabbed
good.
you, and that's fine. I don't think it's the best show. It's certainly not Game of Thrones, but that's why I was probably mad at you, because I'm like, you're like, well, I thought I'd see what all the hype is about. I was like, you can't, because
Yeah.
this is not Game of Thrones. So
I
you
wanna
can't
jump
watch
in- I
2
wanna jump on the
episodes.
train.
You can't watch 2 episodes of House of the Dragon and go, I didn't think it was all that, and then be like, so I don't really get all the hype is about. No, because this isn't Game of Thrones.
So why you watching?
Huh?
Why you
Because I
watching?
thought it was cool, and I know the world. So when I hear people Targaryen
You know the
names and
world.
Starks and shit, I'm like, I know these people. I
Look
want to
at
hear
this.
these are their ancestors.
All right.
It would
Got
be
it.
like a prequel to what's some show you watch that I think is dumb. I don't know. If there was like a Prison Break prequel, you'd be like, that's Mike's dad or whatever the guy's name is.
Excuse
or something
me?
like that. What?
Prison Break is not dumb.
The guy has the map to the prison tattooed on his back.
Yeah.
That's pretty dumb. So
No,
if
it's
there
not.
was a prequel,
Being a hater, man.
Huh?
You being a hater.
if there
You
was a
being a hater.
prequel to that show and you were like, bro, but they tell you who the guy's dad, who the
If there
brother's
was a
dad
prequel
is
to
and stuff.
Prison Break, I would go, that's stupid. I would agree with you. I'm like, that's dumb. Well, they tried to push it too far with the end of the last like season or something. I was like, this is no, just end, just stop. Just stop. It was great. I love this show. It
Okay,
was a
so
great
a
show.
Prison Break prequel might have been a bad example, but the Game of Thrones, this is a Game of Thrones prequel basically, and I'm still watching it because I'm hearing names of people that I remember from the show, and I'm like, oh, that's their great grandfather. This is interesting. So maybe if there's a show that would be interesting for you to see, that's why
Yeah.
I'm watching House of the Dragon. Hey man, this has been another episode of Affirmative Murder. I've been Alvin Williams, joined as always by my partner in true crime, Fran and Alvin, and we'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.